Corporate Recruiter here to review your resume. The resume we have up first is a network engineer. So, what we need for a network engineer is the above. I need 75% of these in bullet points, not in skill sections or summaries, in bullet points to show how you did it and the reason and result that you did it. And I do more than tech and network and stuff. I do like accountants and admin assistants, but right now tech is on fire. In the job market, so most of the resumes that are submitted to me are tech. So what we need for a network engineer is routing, switching, firewalls, VLAN, VPNs, WLANs, core network protocols, TCP, IP, DNS, DHCP, IPv6, IPv6, and 4, brain. Palo Alto networks, so Pan OS, Global, Wildfire, VMware certified, NX, all that other stuff, WAN, LAN, Cisco, routing, switching protocols, BGP, OSPF, and MPLS. Do you need all of those? No, you need 75%. So if you're missing one or two, that's okay. So recruiters only have 20 seconds to find what we need. And I don't know how good or bad this resume is because they did not tell me their ratio, which is how many applications it takes to get an interview, which is how you know how good or bad your resume is. So 20 seconds on the clock. Can I find what I need? And start. All right, this doesn't help. Manage Cisco. Okay, good. Don't care about number. IDF. Again, I don't care about that number, but IDF is good. Improve wireless, a bit about RF and placements for this is too technical. Way too technical. DHCP VLAN, good. Administer 20 plus virtual, don't care. The rest of it I do, lead migration, and that's time. So they actually had some of the stuff. This is not a good resume, but it might have just barely enough to move forward. Because I did see like DHCP, I did see Cisco, I did see IDF, I did see DNS, DHCP, SAN TFP. What I don't care about is these numbers, right? Like none of these numbers matter. People keep thinking you need to add random numbers to your resume. Please don't. Unless you're in sales or a manager, you don't need numbers in your resume besides your work history, again, how long you've been at a job, and your contact information, and maybe when you graduated, depending on what it was. So, what did this person say? They said, I'm currently applying out of state and trying to relocate. I am not sure how much that affects the search. That is critical. Relocating is a red flag. So, what you want to do when you make your resume is you don't need a summary section, right? You don't even say summary section. The only times you need a summary section are one of three. A, you're explaining a visa. B, you are switching industries, and I don't mean just starting one. I mean going from a software engineer to a professional baker, right? Or three, you are relocating. So relocating, you actually do need to tell me moving to X by Y date can move earlier if needed. And you will need to put that here, right under this. But your resume should look like this. This is the best formatting. So again, this is where that will be. You don't even need to say summary. Just say moving to X date by Y date. That's it. How you do that is here. It is on my website. And the link to that is below. So that is where you need to put it. Then we go down to here. And your bullet points are mostly good, actually. I'm actually shocked. I like most of these. What am I missing here? So we have Cisco, right? That's good. We have DNS. Where did that go? There's so many. So we have the core network protocols, right? DNS. We have, let's see, DHCP scopes, I think we did. We have Cisco, I already mentioned. VLAN and WAN LAN or whatever is good, so that's good. That one's good there. And we had decommissioning, implemented, reducing security. Firewalls could be one. So again, I want a little bit more of this stuff up here, but you did have most of it. So would this pass? It might. It might pass. You're just missing a smidge of some of the stuff. And again, down here, nothing in a summary section counts. The stuff that is in your summary section right here needs to be here. If it's not in the bullet points, it doesn't count. You cannot use a summary section. It does not count. I'm repeating that again. Anything in a technical skills or summary system does not count. Because I actually want this stuff, but if you do not show me how you did it, or the reason or results of you doing it, you will be in for a bad time. So, to summarize, what this resume needs to do is fix your formatting a little bit, add the fact that you are moving to X date by Y date, add a little bit more of the stuff that was in the skill sections into there, and remove some of these pointless numbers. And if you do that, you will have a lot of success. Honestly, I think this person could get a job with this resume as is, but again, my goal is to make it easier. So right now it may take them 1 in 50 applications to get an interview. You make the changes I say, they'll probably go down to 1 in 10, 1 in 20. Once people actually fully implement my changes, the average is 1 in 7. It takes one person 7 applications to get an interview, and that is what my advice does. The exception to that is internationals, because it's just really tough for y'all. So that's more of a 1 in 100 to a 1 in 30 at best. That's the ratio. But yeah, this is not a terrible resume. You just need to add a little bit of stuff, and you'll be fantastic. So, thank you everybody for watching this, subscribing and liking and hitting the comments and everything. I appreciate it. And before we move on to the next resume, I want to give another thanks to my members on YouTube who are, they get access to these videos a little bit early. I want to thank you all very much. I really do appreciate it. And if you ever need any more help, anybody can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume for a technical project manager. So, this person, we do not know their ratio. A technical project manager is going to want degree, Scrum, CSM, or PMP. If you don't have that, you can still get a job as a project manager, but it will definitely impact your ratio. If you have a Scrum or PMP cert, it is a huge plus. So, Agile, how you solve the problems with the people, tools, and tech. This is critical, is I need to know how you solve the problems, right? Like, a lot of people just say, did X. I need the how you did it and the reason and result, one of the most important things. So, Agile project management tools and Agile. Agile was in almost every single job. If you don't have Agile, I don't think I can move you forward. Yeah, no, I don't think I can move you forward. Maybe there's 1 or 2 that wants like waterfall or something, but if I don't see Agile, I don't think I'm going to be able to move you forward. So, collaborating closely with technical teams and stakeholders, and this is the key, I don't want to see that you just collaborated with them. I want to see that you influenced them. I want to see that you met the business stakeholder and you got requirements and changed their minds. Or like, that is the most important thing. A lot of people just say collaborated with. No. I need to see how you influence them. The influence is the necessary part. Then I need industry keywords. So this is going to be dependent on what you're actually a technical project manager of. Can't be in everything, but as long as I see some of the industry keywords that I think are there, it's probably going to count. So 20 seconds on the clock. Let's see. I am afraid my chair is going to break. I bought it like a month and a half ago to 2. I'm not happy with that purchase. And start. Okay. Nothing here matters. Nothing here matters. Where's your degree? Okay. You did get a bachelor's. Okay. And you have a cert in Asana. I don't care. Nothing in here matters. All right. Freelance. Only end-to-end client project, managing timelines, budget, resources. That actually kind of like that. I don't care about design project workflow. Oh, I forgot to do start. Whatever. This person gets even more time than normal. So, design project workload is no value achieving a 50% cost savings per project. Maybe project managers can get away with numbers. Stakeholder. But again, I don't see how you let us. Okay, yeah, this doesn't have what I need. So, first off, they just wasted, like, again, this whole section. Summaries don't matter unless those are the 3 I said. Relocating, explaining a visa, or switching industries. Otherwise, you do not want a summary. And again, the skills need to be in the bullet points. Guess what? Skill sections don't count. So already, I have to go all the way down there. And your degree is required for this one. Yes, you do not have a business administration degree, but they still want to see that you graduated college. So, what did this person say to me? Let's see. I don't know how to land interviews. I've been cold applying since I don't have a network built and landed some interviews, but lately I haven't been able to land any for the past 3 months. This person submitted towards December, which, little known fact, you are not going to get any jobs in November, December. Like, can you? Yes. Will you? No. The biggest job boom of the year is between January and March. Yeah, January, March. And the lowest time to get jobs is between like the midpoint of November to, well, when the boom starts in the second week of January. So that might actually be not necessarily just that the resume's bad, but the time of the year they're applying. I tailor my resume to the job description each time. No, do not do that. Do not do that. You never, ever, ever want to do that. You want to tailor it to the job title you want, which is what I do here. Never the individual job. You need to be able to mass apply. You need to be able to send out a resume ASAP because little known fact again, which I guess is the whole point of this channel is little known recruiting facts, ATS is sort based on a first come, first serve basis. Everybody thinks it's some AI. No, it's first come, first serve. So if you are applicant number 152, I will see you in line at 152 after I've seen another 151 applicants. So the faster you apply, the better your chances because once we find who we need, we stop looking. The resume I'm sending is my master resume. I remove bullet points that are not relevant to the job. By the way, I've been unemployed for over a year and added a freelance role to cover the gap. Actually, this freelance role is potentially worse, but it's not the worst. Actually, the more I'm looking at this, it's mid. It doesn't really add much, but it adds a little bit. Like your gaps don't really matter until they're over 2 years. Once a gap is over 2 years and it's recent, then we have problems. So my issue here is I don't see how you influence them, right? I see how you own the end-to-end, but you also didn't describe how you did that. I don't see a single mention of the word agile. Yeah, again, it's in one of the things that deleted, but again, skill sections don't count. Skill sections don't count. I'm saying it again. Skill sections don't count. If it's in a skill section, it doesn't count. Don't put it in the skill section. Don't do it. Don't do it. But I don't even see how. Like, for manager resumes, and I'm including project in that as well, I need to know how you did it, and you didn't really tell me how. So managers can get away with these numbers, but like design project workflows and negotiated vendor agreements, how? How did you do that? How did you work closely with technical teams? How did you multitask? How did you use Agile? How did you solve problems with people, tech, and tools? The answer to that is, I don't know. Led full project lifecycle for, okay, this number is relevant because it gives context for API integration. But again, you don't tell me anything else. This entire resume is filled. Oh, I haven't done it in this one. Okay, so I will say this almost every video. This is if you already seen it, you can skip ahead a couple of minutes. This is the hot dogs versus hamburgers. So you have given me hot dogs. I want you to imagine that you are hungry. You go to a restaurant, you have 30 minutes for your lunch break, and you say, hey, waiter, I would like a hamburger with cheese, pickles, and onions. And they say, right away. So they go back to the kitchen, they bring it back, and they hand you a hot dog. And you go, bro, what? Why? This is a hot dog. This is not a hamburger. They say, well, hold on. Hot dogs have buns. Hamburgers have buns. Hamburgers and hot dogs both have meat. Hamburgers and hot dogs both can have cheese on them, pickles, and onions, and ketchup and mustard. This is what you want. You say, no, it's not. This is a hot dog. I'm leaving. And the same thing is happening right now with a lot of people's resume is, this is hamburgers. This stuff that you're giving me is hot dogs. You are giving me stuff that is similar, that is tangentially related, that implies, but I don't. I want you to state it with your chest. I want to see how you worked with stakeholders. I don't see that. I don't see how you, I don't want to see maintained alignment. I want to say influence them. Bob is the stakeholder you work under. Bob is going to make a critical mistake that is going to bankrupt the company. It is your job to convince Bob that they need to not do that. That is what I need in your resume. Also, Agile. I need Agile. That was in every single one. If you do not have that, they're going to assume you don't have it. I don't care how much it is implied. Also, you have way too many percentages. You want to use percentages sparingly in a manager resume, but this is way too much. Not like you really only want one or two in the whole thing. At max. I need the number of the team size, but not all this percentages. So that's all I can do for this one. And again, your issue is you're filling this to the brim with hot dogs and not hamburgers. So next resume. This is a data analyst resume. So for what we need for a data analyst resume is not a bunch of numbers. I'm including data analysts. No crazy numbers. Data analysts are like the prime culprit for putting a bunch of random numbers in the resume. Please stop. So we need degree, industry, SQL, data visualization, Tableau, Power BI, Looker. influencing stakeholders, and a stakeholder, for anybody who doesn't know, that's not like just a CEO. That's somebody who owns this part of the project in the company. It could be the janitor, right? Which the janitors are actually critical. Like if you ever work in a company with no janitors, everybody will leave. Janitors are very critical to a company. So a stakeholder is just anybody that makes the decisions. That's all that really kind of means. Explaining technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders. And this is the biggest one that everybody messes up on, specifically for data analysts, is how you solved a problem with the data, not what the data is. I don't care that you used a Monte Carlo X potato simulator farmer to find an incongruity. I just need to know, does the data show that red make number go up or red make number go down? That's it. So, that's all I care about. MS Excel, macros, pivot tables, VLOOKUP, probably one or two others too, but those are good bases. Word, ETL, Python, R, multiple projects and deadline, and nice to have is cloud and AI. Again, those are nice to have. Please do not fill your entire resume with it. Otherwise, you are going to be in for a bad time. So, this person has a 1 in 100, which means that this is a bad resume, but it is not unsalvageable. It just means there is a problems with it, but like it's still getting something. So 20 seconds on the clock. Let's see what's wrong with it. And go. Okay, education, good. Analyzed, I don't care about this. In sales, SQL, good. To identify, good. You don't tell me how you collaborated. And this I don't care about. Resolved Excel data quality issues impacting C#, good. Partnered with Frontline. Okay, but you didn't tell me the point of that. This number of frequent customers. Integrated 6 websites. Don't hire transfer. That one is relevant. Okay, that is time. Let me read what you wrote. You are so close to having some good bullet points. You just ruined it by adding a bunch of unnecessary hot dogs. So, need help with writing bullet points. I want to justify why, but I lose relevance to the job description in doing that. Would love to know what I can add or remove. You're overthinking it. Also, I feel like I got more responsive for using an old format. I mean, this is not good yet. This is not there yet. I have 4 months to get a job, and I'm confused to try the new version and fine-tune it to stick one in the works. I mean, look, if the old one is working, then it's working. But I personally believe there are ways for you to make this better. And I have gotten internationals on visas jobs before. Actually, specifically data analyst. I think I've gotten the most people data analysts for this. So right now your resume is not terrible, but it's not great. So here's the big problem I have with this is I have SQL, which is great, but I don't care that you collaborated with stakeholders. I want to see that you influence them. Like why was it important that you implemented dynamic pricing model? Also, there's something off with your font. This was the old one. Your font I think is slightly off. I don't know what it is, but it's slightly off. So like SQL is great, but like how did you collaborate? How did you influence them? What was the point of this? Like attracting customers, cool, but why? Right? So I need you to rewrite this and make it clearer. Then resolved Excel data quality issues impacting C-suites. That's good. Shows an impact. KPIs, right? But you don't tell me how you did it. And remember, I'm not looking for just Excel. I'm looking for VLOOKUP, pivot tables, and whatever. So what you can say is created data visualization dashboards for our C-suite to improve their KPI tracking by using blah, blah, blah. But like establishing reliable metrics, I don't care about. I just care that it did its job. I don't care what you did with that part. Integrated data from 6 websites, irrelevant information, into SQL. You already mentioned SQL. Then you have a bullet point here. Everything needs to be one sentence. And then train 8 coworkers, also good. That one's good, right? That's good. On SQL and let Excel. Again, you already mentioned this. I need to see how you influence people. I need to see macros and pivot tables. I need to see Word. I need to see Python. I need to see deadlines and data visualization. You have filled this entirely with SQL and Excel, which is good to have, but you don't want to double up on it. Remember, it's good to have SQL here, And oh, you don't have it down and down here, right? It's good to have it in two places. It's good to have it in multiple jobs, but it's bad to have it in the same job multiple times. So your biggest issue with this is you don't show you're qualified because you only show SQL and Excel, and that's a starting point, but there's more. You've still filled it with numbers. Like, this is not my formatting yet. The formatting's not there. The advice is not there. How you would write this resume is not there. You've kind of half, the word I cannot say, this resume right now, which is the problem you're suffering right now, is you still have all these other bad things in your resume that are taking it away, and you're not telling me the key hamburgers of influencing them and explaining complex topics and VLOOKUP and pivot tables and how you solve the problem you did do. But, like, I still need data visualization. So if you're on a visa, I have gotten people jobs as a data analyst on visa before through my advice. You are not there yet. This resume is still not good. You're still trying to impress me. I need you to break out of that habit of thinking that if you just show me how good you are by showing that they lost my voice for a second, that I solved issues from 2,000 customers, I'm going to move you forward. Nobody cares. And I'm saying that for your own good. Nobody cares about that. All I care is, can you mention these? And you only mention 40 to 50% of these. Although I will say a 1 in 100 for an international is not that terrible. That's the equivalent of like a 1 in 50. So you do show some stuff. You just need to make it better so that you can get like a 1 in 30. Like, if you're getting a 1 in 100 with this in your previous one, you can probably get a 1 in 30, 1 in 40. So next, resume. This is a data scientist, which is different than a data analyst. They have very different keyword. Well, they have different qualifications. I wouldn't say very, but a good data scientist resume will fail at getting you a data analyst job and vice versa. So what we need for a data scientist is degree, Python, R, SQL, data knowledge forms, modelings, analytics, etc. Industry, explain stuff to non-technical folks, influencing stakeholders, cross-functional, ML ops, Microsoft Office applications, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, AI, a little bit, just a little bit of AI. Stop making your entire resume AI. I want a little bit of it, not in just filled to the brim with it. So Spark, Skibbity-learn, Pandas, NumPy. I know it's scikit-learn. I will always pronounce it Skibbity-learn. Dashboard and data visualization. So I don't think we know the ratio for this one. We do not. So we do not know its ratio. So we're just going to see how it goes. 20 seconds on the clock. Getting my highlighter up so I can mark things and go. Nope, nothing here counts. Where's your education? Master's in science. Okay, good. Collaborating in a cross-functional team. A software engineering design is developed. That's okay. I need more, but it's not terrible. Record modeling lead to fuzzy scoring and I don't care. Blah, 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 not related. Analyze claims of cat boost, nothing's related. And time, yeah, this thing had nothing in it that I would want. I'm not getting any interviews. Yeah, because your resume has nothing in it. I understand that you think that what you put down there is relevant, but it's not. You know what's relevant? This stuff. No, shouldn't use the same one. This is what's relevant. And I need it in the bullet points. If it's not in the bullet points, it doesn't count. You know what I need? I need to see SQL, Python, R. I need to see Flask, LangChain. I need to see... Actually, I need to see more than this, too. There's only, like, not even all of this is necessary. So, like, Git is not really something I need. Again, like, Git is not Databricks. This isn't. Maybe Microsoft Azure Cloud. Maybe. Python is nice, so this is good. I don't need HTML. You're not a full stack or front end dev. I don't care about that. Do need SQL, and I don't need all of this. I need like 1 or 2 of these. It could be any of them, but these are the ones. And I don't need you to stay data analytics. So look, even the skills section is incorrect. Which again, you should not have a skills section. Nothing in the skills section counts. But like, where's the data modeling and data analytics stuff? Where is the industry? Where is explaining stuff to non-technical folk? Where is cross-functional? Where is ML Ops? Where's Microsoft Office? I don't care that you have a master's. You need to put it. The third biggest rule in your resume, the first biggest rule being make sure your contact information is correct, because nothing else matters if that's wrong. Second biggest rule being tailor to the job title. The third is if it's implied that you have it, you don't have it. Nothing is implied. It is only directly stated. So if you think it is obvious that I have Excel because I have a master's, nope, no it's not, no it's not, no it's not. You need to put it in. You need to put it in. I have gotten into so many fights with people, and every time they do it, they end up getting jobs. Once they finally listen to me on that one, is the third biggest resume sin you can make, is if you think it is implied, it needs to be on your resume twice, sometimes 3 or 4 times. The stuff that you think is implied is the most important stuff. So your issue is your resume is just filled with, I'm not even going to call this hot dogs because there's really nothing. Like, this first sentence starts off okay, but the problem is I need more. I need 3 to 6 keywords per sentence. And the first sentence you have here, right here, does a good job of telling me what you did. The problem is it tells me I need more, right? I need this stuff too. Then you go into everything else, and I actually don't think there's a single thing I can use from this. This is completely irrelevant. Analyze historical data, judicial claims. Again, you told me what you did and how it's used for, so there's a single thing that's good here, but that's it. Everything else in the bullet point is bad. So, and cross-functional. I missed cross-functional. So you've got 2 things I'm looking for, maybe 3 and 3 bullet points, and that's not enough. You need to have 3 to 6 in 1 bullet point. And then we go down to here, and nothing here is relevant except for Python, I see. So yeah, the problem you have here is nothing in this is necessary. I don't care about any of this. Your entire resume is basically blank. If you submitted a blank page that said, I used... I worked cross-functionally and I predicted things. That's what you did. You need to write this stuff in the bullet points, because that's what's actually impactful. Because this right here, this is it. You've sent me nothing. This is why you're not getting a single interview, is you think that these percentages are important and they're not. I don't care that you save money, right? I don't care the percentage number. I care that you can influence stakeholders. I don't even know what industry you're in. I don't even know if you can use Excel. I don't know if you could work in cloud. I don't know if you could make a dashboard. I don't think you could explain complex topics to non-technical folk. And guess what? If you can't do that, that is the minimum requirements to move forward. Your resume is a minimum qualification document. If you try to use it for anything other than that, you fail. So there's really not much more I can get to do with this, because the resume is almost entirely blank and I've had my fill of coloring this stuff. So let's go to the next resume. This is a business analyst. So again, we've had data scientist, data analyst, and now business analyst. And if you notice, these are all different. Well, they're like 60% different. The 40% of them are similar, but if you only... You need to make your resume separate. So for business analysts, what we need is SQL, Tableau, Power BI, Industry, Microsoft Office, Outlook, PowerPoint, Excel, Advanced, Word, Jira, SAP, requirements gathering and documentation, influence cross-functional teams from IC to stakeholders and managers, and proactively solved business problems. You need to be like, all right, based on your problems, based on the data, this is going to happen. Here's how to prevent it. You are proactively solving problems, not reactively. Explaining complex topics to non-technical folk. Again, they don't have to be stakeholders. It's better if they are, but they don't have to. And meet multiple deadlines, and also Agile, Scrum, and Waterfall. So we do not know this person's ratio. So 20 seconds on the clock. Let's see what it is. And 20 seconds go. Okay, good. MS Bachelor's, okay, Bachelor's, Scrum Under, good. For a financial data source DAS platform, to stakeholder sections, Cap, cluster, music, hand, request, and Jira, Confluence, translated, good. Collaborative close with product managers using Scrum, Agile, good. In terms of final faculty and stakeholders, sure. Business, health feedback with customers, Figma, not bad. I think we need a little bit more of like Excel and stuff, but this is not bad. And your sentences are a little wordy. This might actually pass. Let me see this. Is the summary section sufficient, or should I add more details? No, this is fine. This is good. I like it. Probably less. I am learning the language. Can I mention that also? You never want to say that you're learning. You only want to say that you have already done. That is actually a secret for everybody, is never ever say I can learn or I have learned. You always want to just state that you have done. Should I put the status graduated from each education? I don't think that's necessary. It's implied for this. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I actually would. You really want to put the dates that you were graduated if it's within the last 3 years. I would in fact keep it to just right here where it says status graduated. So that is correct. The other thing is, I know you kind of simplified it here. It does look better if it's 3. So the address could maybe be at the bottom or something. It's not the huge deal, but currently on a highly skilled migrant, you're going to need to explain more about this. Now, it may be different in where you are because you're in the Netherlands, but I'm going to need you to explain how they can work with that visa. Because it might be that the people that are recruiting for this don't actually know how to work with that visa. Again, I am not a recruiter in the Netherlands. I can only use this based on my experience in the U.S. So that might be something that's different, but that is at least what I would do if this was in the U.S. Then we go down to here, and I actually think these are a little wordy, right? I don't know if data as a service platform is something they want. If it is, you can correct me, because this may be a difference in the Netherlands. We can say active stakeholders in our technical teams in enhancement requests in Jira and Confluence. I really like that. Sufficient. I don't think you need the end of this sentence. I actually think this is fine, right? I think this is just a good sentence right here. I think that's good. For our financial platform service, act as an intermediary between stakeholders and our technical teams to capture customer needs and requests. I don't care about enhancement, just say requests in Jira and Confluence, which can be one. Maybe Confluence is one. Depends on, maybe it is in the Netherlands. Translating them into detailed technical document specifications or whatever. So this is fine. Then collaborative, just say worked. Just say worked. Never say collaborated. Just say worked. With the product manager using Agile Scrum methodologies. Good. Basis ensuring deadlines for multiple initiatives were met. I want you to shoehorn in one keyword here. I think you've only gotten 2, but otherwise this is good. Influence a final product by collaborating. Again, working. This is where you start losing me. Influence the final product by, let's see. In fact, I think you need to redo this sentence. I think it should be, proactively solved business problems by identifying customer discussions and implementing them into the final product by working with our technical teams and stakeholders. The order of that, I think it needs to be flipped. Held feedback sessions with customers and cross-functional stakeholders. Good. Using Figma. Maybe Figma. I don't know if they're going to ask that. They could ask for wireframing. That might be a Netherlands specific. So again, I am missing SQL, right? I'm missing, let me go through what I have. I'm missing SQL. I'm missing Tableau or Power BI or Looker. I think I did have industry. I'm missing Microsoft Office, but I did have Jira, which is good. I did get requirements documentation. I think that actually does show requirements documentation. I'd like it to be a little more specific, but it kind of does it. I do actually see that you influence people, right? Actually, no, you kind of imply you influence. I needed a little bit more. I also need you to a little bit more explain complex topics. I do see multiple deadlines. I do see Scrum, Agile, and you only needed one from that list. So I need you to be a little more specific with this stuff, but it is possible this could pass as is. But I want you to be very specific, right? We don't want to just imply. We don't want to imply that you influence. I want you to say, I changed their minds. Because that is your job, and that is honestly one of the hardest parts of the job. Getting the data, it may not be easy, but it is easier than convincing Bob, the CEO of the company, that you really, 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 really don't want to rename Twitter as X. It's a bad idea. Everybody says it's a bad idea. You have to convince them not to do it. It's a terrible idea. X is a bad name. Twitter was a great name. Anyway, That's all I can do for this resume. I just want to thank you all for watching and commenting, liking, subscribing, sending it to your friends and family. And if you ever need any more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I want to thank all my members who get access to videos a little bit early. Thank you very much for supporting my channel. It is a small channel, and I really do appreciate your support. So I will see you all in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search.